Welcome to Planning Ahead with CMS. In this episode, we're going to talk about what you can do in the Greenbelt and what are very special circumstances. In his campaign pledge, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised to block Greenbelt development. Against this backdrop, when will development in the Greenbelt go ahead? Very special circumstances may justify the grant of planning permission for development in the Greenbelt, but what does it actually mean? There's no clear answer to that question. In this episode of Planning Ahead with CMS, CMS planning partner Josh Risso-Gill will explore how decision makers have calibrated the term very special circumstances. So Josh, could you tell us about some of the decisions that have been made by planning inspectorates where very special circumstances have been found?
Yes, around 2019 there was a short burst of inspector decisions allowing schemes to meet the needs of older people in the Greenbelt. There have also been some other cases which show that the special circumstances can be demonstrated to address an unmet need. In the Stanley Road decision for the Seashell Trust at Stanley Road in Stockport, a decision in April 2020, in finding very special circumstances, the Secretary of State considered, firstly, that the need for redevelopment of the Special Educational Needs School carried substantial weight, and secondly, that the housing benefits overall carried very significant weight, and thirdly, that the provision of employment and community benefits each carried moderate weight. So the inspector and/or Secretary of State usually take into account a basket of considerations in finding very special circumstances. And I think this is one such example of this. Also, in finding very special circumstances in the Oxford Brookes University case, at the Weekly campus at Oxford, the decision in April 2020, the Secretary of State considered that the significant visual benefit to the openness of a wide area of the South Oxfordshire Greenbelt by removing a tower and other large unsightly structures on the site carried very substantial weight, and the delivery of up to 500 houses, 173 of which would be affordable, carried very substantial weight. So I think here we can see that the Secretary of State considered both the benefit to the Greenbelt itself as well as the need to meet housing need. In the Hulton Park Bolton case, that also met the very special circumstances test to support delivering a world-class golf facility that could host the Ryder Cup. So I think what this shows is that very special can be very varied.
Very varied indeed. So there's been a lot of chat in the press about how we can't meet the housing needs of the population in terms of affordable housing and different types of housing without building in the Greenbelt. Is this relevant to the very special circumstances test?
Yes, one example is the Colney Heath decision in June 2021. The decision actually related to two appeals concerning a proposed residential development in Colney Heath in Hertfordshire. The planning application in question was an outline application for the erection of up to 100 dwellings, and the site was located in an area without an up-to-date local plan and also with severe unmet housing need, and also with a need for affordable housing and need for self-build home sites. Both appeals were allowed. Given the poor supply and the severe level of unmet need, the inspector gave very substantial weight to both the delivery of market and affordable housing, as well as further substantial weight to 10 self-build units. These benefits clearly outweighed the harm to the Greenbelt by the inappropriateness and the harm to the Greenbelt openness. So very special circumstances were deemed to exist. Two things I think are unusual about this example. Firstly, it was a pure Greenbelt case concerning an open field on the edge of a village. And secondly, the circumstances which led to the finding of very special circumstances were straightforward housing need and the failure to deliver housing in the context of the breakdown of the plan-led system in this part of Hertfordshire.
Thank you, Josh. That is super interesting. I think the definition of very special circumstances is about as clear as mud.